Wonders of the Unknown is the second show of Season 2 of Dark Winds. Season 2 of AMC Plus' Dark Winds started on a cool note. The first show introduced a risky bad guy with ties to a bunch of awful truths about life on the res. The Darkness folks and their sway over certain native people were talked about briefly. After Jim Chi left the FBI, he went into private detective work. While working on a new case for Mrs. Vines, he ran with an old co-worker, Joe Leaphorn. She is shot while looking into the disappearance of a box. The dude also blows up Joe's car, so they have little choice but to get back to their house. What happened in Dark Winds Season 2 Episode 2? In the previous episode, Joe Leaphorn and Jim Chi were attacked by a strange gunman, who Chi later identified as the dude he spotted outside the building where he met Tomas Charlie. This left the two men stranded in the desert. By the time the second show begins, Chi has been shot and is bleeding a lot. A truck happens to be driving by as Joe drags him to the road. Chi is rushed to the hospital in time, but he'll need to heal up there for a while. Joe, meantime, looks into the situation on his own. He goes to see BJ Vines to ask about the box's contents. He shows his son's belt buckle, but Vines says he's innocent. Joe and Bernadette go back to the location and find Tomas's dead body in the sand. They visit him at home and discover his kid with a gift he thinks his dad left for him. Another explosive, this time, which raises some questions. What possible reason may there be for killing Tomas's kid along with the Charlies? In the second season, Colton Wolfe is at the heart of the mystery. His arrival happened with a string of killings, but what does he have to do with the Charlies? The Darkness folks must be involved in this somehow, since everything points that way. Emerson Charlie and BJ Vines had some unresolved problems, which led to the stealing of a box from Vines' home. The two sides tell different stories about the cult. Mrs. Vines tells Chi that she heard Emerson Charlie was mad at her husband, BJ, for getting him mixed up with the cult. Tomas Charlie says BJ Vines is a member of the Darkness folks. The only way to figure this out is to find Colton Wolfe and ask him. Joe learns that Wolfe is tied to his kid's death, and so to solving the mystery. Tomas's grandson tells his son that he and a dude who looked like Colton used to hang out at their home while Tomas was still alive. Emerson warned the young man to stay away from Colton, warning that he was a dangerous man who had blown up a well, among other terrible things. Joe knows that his grandpa is talking about the explosion at the drill site, but the kid has no clue what well his grandfather is talking about. It's not surprising that someone like Colton Wolfe, who likes explosives, would cause yet another blast. He was skilled enough to make Emerson's death look like a sad accident. Joe's observation helped stop the incident from being called an accident by the local cops. This shows Colton's skill at his job and may explain why he was called to help with the explosion's plans. In the previous season, we found out that the father of Joe Jr.'s fiancée was among those at the drill site who knew something terrible was going to happen. They had been warned to take cover, and sure enough, the predicted explosion had the wanted result. Someone with ties to the Darkness folks made the prediction, and the cult grew after what happened. Is it possible that the cult is a cover for an evil plan? Who set off the bomb and why? Colton Wolfe is the only one who knows the truth, but he's busy with something else right now. Jim Chi watches the moon landing with the medical staff in the last part of the show. Colton Wolfe unexpectedly shows up to the clinic. He's clearly colored his hair to hide who he is, but will Chi really forget the face of the dude who shot him? Colton's job is easier since, even if Chi recognizes him, he's hurt and so has a disadvantage. Considering what's happened, we may figure that someone hired Colton to do their dirty work. Tomas said that BJ Vines cursed his father and family, so it's likely tied to him. Maybe wiping out the Charlies is Vines' way of showing how serious he is about his curses. It's not clear if Vines specifically asked Colton to get rid of Chi, but he seems set on doing it. In the original stuff for this season, Colton comes to the hospital planning to kill Chi, but ends up killing another patient instead. Chi has already sized up the situation and ran before he had a chance to realize his mistake. We expect a fight scene and or a chase scene to make things way more exciting on the broadcast. Chi will make it through this without harm, but he may end up with some more cuts and bruises. This second chance at life will only boost his determination to track down Colton. He'll be glad to hear it, and he'll pass it along to Leaphorn, who probably feels the same way.